Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. Today is August 5th. The college football season is just around the corner. We're going to do an interesting series of videos right now with Steve from collegefootballwinning.com, taking a look at coaches, specific coaches, and their historical ATS tendencies. Steve has written a book covering this called The Betting Black Book, which you can find on Amazon.com. The topic of this video is going to be Dabo Swinney of Clemson, obviously a very interesting coach and team this year, tied with Alabama for the shortest odds to win the national championship. Steve, thanks for being with us. Before we get into a Dabo Swinney, tell us just quickly where you come from, collegefootballwinning.com.
Thank you, Peter. At collegefootballwinning.com, all we do is college football betting analysis all year round. That's 365 days a year. And this book, the Betting Black Book, is evidence of that. So even in the off season, that's where we do our most serious research. We're a company founded on making college football betting recommendations algorithmically. If people come to collegefootballwinning.com, and I hope they do, we'll give them a coupon code. Use SBR10, that's SBR10, get 10% off of any membership that we're currently offering. And we still offer a 100% money-back guarantee on the entire season.
All right, that all sounds great, Steve. Dabo Swinney, I don't know if I have any associations with him as far as ATS is concerned, ATS results are concerned. I do have associations with him as being a particularly sincere coach and a particularly good motivator, even as compared with other college football coaches. But as far as ATS results are concerned, or ATS tendencies, I don't really have anything that comes to mind. What can you tell us about Dabo Swinney from Clemson?
Dabo Swinney, as a head coach at Clemson, he's been there since he was hired as a head coach in October of 2008, so mid-season. His against the spread winning rate at Clemson as a head coach is 53.92%. He's 55-47. And I want to remind viewers right now that the break-even rate against the spread in standard college football betting is 52.38%. So any percentage you hear higher than that is profitable. Anything lower than 52.38% is not profitable. Against the spread total, you heard 53.92% for Dabo. That ranks 43rd among all active college football coaches, still profitable. At home, he is a pretty unremarkable 28-26, so it's 51.85%. That ranks 42nd. Away, he's 21-18 against the spread. And when I say away, I'm not including bowl games or college football playoff games. He's 53.85%. That is 54th among all 128 active college football coaches in the category of narrow point spreads. So in this category, I did not differentiate between favorites and underdogs. Why? Because when a team opens as less than a field goal favorite, that team becomes the underdog the last 10 years in college football history, 25.37% of the time. So the favorites and underdogs change places when it's less than a 3-point spread more than a quarter of the time. So in theory, a team could be attracting money as an underdog from the opening, and all week long, we're thinking of them as an underdog. And then at the last moment, right before kickoff, a bunch of money comes in, they become a small favorite. So for me to classify that team that had been attracting underdog money all week long as a favorite, I thought would be misleading. So narrow point spreads, no favorites, no underdogs, just less than a 3-point spread. Dabo is 7-8 against the spread. So it's basically, he's really close to meeting public expectations there. As a favorite, sounds once again like this is really innocuous information. He's 36-35 against the spread, 50.7%. Basically saying, Steve, I don't see the edges here. But here's Dabo's sweet spot as a favorite, and it is pronounced. I had a category, and you can see this in the book, I have a category where it's mid-range favorites. So you have to be at least a touchdown favorite, but less than 2 touchdowns. So, you're a solid favorite, not a prohibitive one, not a teeny one. So 7 to 13.5 points. So 1 touchdown and just under 2 touchdowns. Dabo in those spots, he is 17-5, Peter,
wow,
against the spread. 77.27%. So you look at him as a favorite and you go, it doesn't sound like he's 50.7% as a favorite. But we need to break that out and really see those spots, those tendencies. So he's a solid favorite, not a prohibitive one. He's a phenomenal against the spread coach. As an underdog, Peter, and you probably won't see too much out of Clemson this year, maybe once, maybe twice. As an underdog of at least 3 points, He is 12-4 against the spread, 75%. And as an underdog of at least 7 points or more, he's 5-1 against the spread, 83.33% against the spread. It's fantastic. In conference, in the ACC, he is 37-27 against the spread. That's 57.81%. That's the second best in the ACC for all active coaches there. Second only to Steve Adazio of Boston College. Out of conference, not so good. 18-20, that's 47.37%. That's 74th. But as you know, 18-20, you're just one game away from being 500, which means, even though it's not profitable, it just means he is meeting the public betting expectations at 50%. That's what that means. Total preparation. I like this category. Total preparation means at least 10 days to prepare for a game. So that would include the first game of the season. That would include after bye weeks. That would include before bowl games, before college football playoff games. Literally any game where a coach and his team, his current team, had at least 10 days to prepare for a game. Dabo is 16-10. That's 61.54% against the spread. He ranks 28th among all active college football coaches as a prep coach, a total prep coach. For those who are curious now, since this is preseason, we're looking at the first game of the season. First game of the season against the spread, Dabo is 5-2. And remember, his first season, I didn't count that as a first game because he was appointed head coach in October. So first game of the season where he's been the legitimate full season head coach, 71.43% against the spread. So he does very well there. A caveat I want to give to all these statistics for just in general, this particular Clemson team here, coming into 2016-2017. The preseason poll has yet to be released. It will be released later this month as we're taping this. But if it's anything like the coaches poll, it is very likely that Clemson will be a top 2 team. Now, top 2, the past 10 seasons in college football, a preseason AP top 2 team averages with an against the spread season winning rate of 49.03%. That's a little bit less than 50%. You might think, nah, it's not really, nothing significant there. That's 10 years though, Peter. The last 3 seasons, if you're fishing among the top 2 looking for a good against the spread teams, preseason AP top 2 teams, they're 42.5% against the spread. It's the average the last 3 seasons. So just be aware of that for Clemson. They have not been a top 2 team under Dabo before in the preseason. So be aware of that. So in sum, Peter, the good for Clemson under Dabo Swinney. Good in conference. Amazing as a mid-range favorite and amazing as an underdog. The not so good out of conference. Remember, he had a ranking of 74th. When he's any kind of favorite, but that mid-range favorite. So if he's a tiny favorite, as I defined as 3 to 6.5 points, or a big favorite, a prohibitive favorite, anything more than 14 or more points, so 2 touchdowns or more, he's just 19-30 against the spread. That's 38.78%. So you really need to pick those spots with Dabo and Clemson.
Okay, Steve from collegefootballwinning.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Peter.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SPR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.